Welcome back everyone, I'm K Plays Games, and this is EVE Online, and today we're going to be doing something perhaps a little bit silly. We're going to be attempting level 4 missions in Tech 1 fitted Tech 1 Battlecruisers. Now these are the same fits that we made in our most recent Battlecruiser series. We did most of them with level 4 missions in mind, so they've got like twin reps and things like that. Their DPS is not going to be huge, their resistances and tank are not going to be huge, but they are slightly smaller and slightly faster than battleships, so hopefully that means we'll be able to avoid some damage. And because we're going to be using medium-sized weapons, our damage application should be pretty good. Now this may take some time, so let's just get straight into it. The first one we're going to be using is a Harbinger, and here we are in our Harbinger. Let's have a look at the fit we made for this, just to remind myself. Okay, this thing has got a microwatt drive. Let's simulate it. So it seems to be a short-range pulse laser and microwatt drive fit. That's fine. Turn the auto-targeter off. That does not need to be on all the time. I believe it was 44 minutes cap with the microwatt drive, the guns, and 1 rep running. Is there anything I'm going to change for this for level 4? Yeah, if we look at the resistances, they're really not great, even though we know that the reactive armor hardener starts off with 15 in each of the 4 resistances, and we'll move these 60 points around to match exactly what you're being shot with. So if, for example, we're fighting Serpentis, it will go to 30 thermal and 30 kinetic, which means that these are probably only going to end up somewhere around mid-50s or 60s. That's really not great. So for level 4, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove 1 heatsink. I know, putting our 400 and something damage even further down. We're going to put a compact multispectrum energized membrane on, just to push the resistances up to kind of mid-50s to 60s, which will of course be boosted by the reactive armor hardener. Now that has put our damage down, so to put our damage up, if we go to the charges tab and click on the gun icon, we can experiment with some faction ammunition. It doesn't cost all that much, 413,000 a unit, but laser charges do last 4,000 shots, I want to say. Yes, you will get 4,000 shots with faction ammunition, and faction ammo gives you 15% more damage straight off the bat. So we'll exchange the Tech 1 Ultraviolet for Imperial Navy Ultraviolet. Here we go, 15% more damage straight away. Lovely. The one other thing I would change would be the drones. Change the Tech 1 drones out for faction drones as well. They do a lot more damage than Tech 1, they're faster, they've got better tracking, and they've got a lot more hit points. In fact, faction drones have more hit points than Tech 2. So I'll be changing the Hammerhead one and Hobgoblin one out for probably Caldari Navy Vespa and Caldari Navy Hornets for these missions. So I'm going to go and buy all that stuff, and then we'll come back and we'll run some missions. And here we are with the level 4 fit. We have Imperial Navy Ultraviolet M. We have Caldari Navy Hornet and Vespa. I've gone for Caldari A because we're doing this in Galenti space, and most of the enemies we'll be fighting will be kinetic and thermal. Weakest to kinetic and thermal, and these guys do kinetic, and B because they have a lot more shield than any other type of drone, which means they'll be able to last in space longer, or at least get back to the ship before being destroyed if I do have to recall them. Right, let's get a level 4 mission. Okay, Serpentis Extravaganza. We are going to do this mission. There are some missions at level 4, and thinking specifically of this fit, that I would want to avoid. Dread Pirate Scarlet, enemies abound for sure. Maybe the Blockade, Vengeance, the Assault, maybe Mortis Headhunters. Though I might be brave and attempt them if we're offered them. We are only going to be doing 1 mission per ship, otherwise these videos are going to be 16 hours long, because level 4 missions in a Tech 1 Battlecruiser takes a little bit of time. So with that in mind, let's accept Serpentis Extravaganza. I believe this is 3 or 4 rooms full of, well, Serpentis, including battleships, because this is level 4. We're being paid 1,540,000 ISK and a stunking great big 6,169 loyalty points. Nice. With a further 1.2 million if you do it within 6 hours. Usually you just laugh at the time bonus reward, but 6 hours is the maximum. That's the most length of time you're going to get for any level 4 mission, and that tells you the game thinks this is one of the bigger and more difficult level 4s. Let's see if that's true. Let's go. Right, we have arrived in the mission system, so let's warp to the mission.
Warp drive active.
Now, the enemies we're fighting are going to be weakest to kinetic and thermal. Unfortunately for us, we only ever do EM and thermal. We're doing a little bit of thermal, but at least the enemies are second weakest to thermal, so we'll do a decent amount of damage. This is the problem when you're using lasers against Serpentis. Got a sneak preview as we decelerated from warp. And one other happy accident is that when we removed the third heatsink, that actually improved our cap, because heat sinks, as we see, increase the rate of fire. And rate of fire means faster cycles, and that means more cap, because lasers use cap. So now, if we turn off one of the 2 reps, we see that we're just cap stable, with the guns, microwatt drive, Hardener, and one of the reps on, so that's nice.
Warp drive active.
If we need to have the second rep on, cap only lasts 3 minutes 18, or it's 11 minutes 15 with the microwatt drive off. Hopefully we won't need that. So let's turn on the arm hardener and the tracking computer. Okay, 4 groups of enemies. This lot down here I want to go and get rid of first, so let's just... Actually, they seem to be pretty much on our range. They've instantly aggressed, that's not great. So we'll just keep him at range. Okay, they don't seem to be elite, which is good. But we'll just blap them enemy. Oh, okay, they've called in some reinforcements, that's also not great. Because we've got medium guns, we're going to track these little frigates just fine, and that is good for us. Now, luckily, it looks like everything in this mission is going to aggress in their individual groups. Keep this guy at range. I'm not going to turn on the armor rep until we're in armor. Let's put out the kinetic drones. They can go and chew on this guy. Looks like our lasers are doing just fine, thank you very much. These guys are definitely weakest to kinetic and thermal. Doesn't mean they're immune to EM, by no means. They've only got 44% EM resistance. So our EM and thermal lasers are just smashing through them, no problem at all. The drones are doing a fine job at chewing up that cruiser on their own, which is nice. So far so good. We haven't tangled with the battleships yet though. Things can still go drastically wrong. Which group do we want to go for next? I'm thinking this group in the middle, so we'll just hold control, drag a box, target them. Right, microwatt drive on, recall the drones. I'm gonna keep it range on one of the destroyers, try and get them down. Okay, first battleship. Okay, we can one-shot the destroyers. This is why battlecruisers are not a tenable idea for level 4. Of course, if you've got the money, get a battleship. You'll have such an easier time in a battleship in level 4. But if you're poor and you've only just gone Omega and you want to try level 4, you can do it in battlecruisers. If you're careful and you know what you're doing. Which hopefully I do. Okay, these guys have also called in reinforcements by way of frigates. looks like they're red boxing me, which is good. We need to be moving. We need to keep something at range. Let's keep these Guardian Veterans at range. Try and pick them off with their pulse lasers. Medium pulse lasers track pretty well, especially when you've got a tracking computer. I mean, I haven't even loaded a script in this tracking computer, and it's just doing the job of getting rid of these frigates. Right, let's orbit the battleship. I mean, it is red box, so it is firing, but as we see, it's missing us. It's missing us an awful lot. It's firing yellow, which tells me it's armed with blasters. So we can just keep it at a decent range and orbit it out here. It's like missing us all the time. We're still on a 75% shield. Can't argue with that. The issue with just clicking orbit and then not paying attention is that if this lot are proximity aggressed, then perhaps that would have been a bad idea. But looks like we've just done a flyby and it didn't aggress them. Alright, one battleship down. Let's go for this big group at the back here. Just recall the drones again. Looks like 4 battleships and 2 haulers. Okay. I think we'll be going for the battleships first. We're just going to click on them and have a look at their bounty. Ones with the lower bounty should be easier to kill. That's kind of how it goes. Let's just grab their aggro. In fact, we don't even care about the aggro. Let's just get the drones out. If the drones get shot, we can bring them back. We are a close range fit after all, so we're not going to be too far away from the drones if they get aggressed. Being Caldari Navy Vespa, they have a lot of hit points. How many shield hit points do these things have? 1080. Not bad on a non-drone bonus ship. Okay, one of them's red box, everything else is yellow. The rest of the battleships being yellow makes me think that they might be trying to shoot the drones, but I'm not seeing any fire going towards the drones. Okay, we've killed one battleship already. Let's orbit the next one. So this twin armor rep ship has never got below 75% shield at the moment. Again, as I said, we are smaller and faster than a battleship. So we're able to avoid more fire. They are hitting us, but not all that hard. This is despite our signature radius being bloomed by the restrained microwatt drive. It's being bloomed by, where is it, 450%. But even that seems to be absolutely fine. We're still in shield. We are a twin armor rep ship. We're fighting battle cruisers at close range. We're moving fast. They're missing us with their blasters because they've got large weapons with crap tracking. We're a medium-sized target and we're moving quickly. So even though we've got a much larger signature radius, they seem to be missing us. Happy days. Now, this mission would of course be a different story if the entire room aggressed all at once, but they seem very happy in aggressing in small groups. I'm going to take advantage of that. Thank you very much. Just going to start orbiting the next one because it's right next to this one. And one more battleship down. So far, this has been an absolute breeze. Now, strangely for us, the battleships are not the threat. It's the massive amount of cruisers that you encounter in level 4. Battle cruisers are not that scary. Yeah, they put out a decent amount of damage, but they're very squishy. They're very easy to kill. Cruisers take around the same amount of time to kill because they are smaller and faster than battle cruisers, so they don't take as much damage from you. But they put out a lot less damage. There's just a lot more of them. And as we see with the battleships, you just orbit them nice and fast and they can't hit you. So I'm not worried about the battleships and level 4 missions. It's the massive amount of cruisers which is going to be the problem. Well, these transport ships ain't a problem, that's for damn sure. In fact, let's just approach the battlecruisers down here. Okay, Tech 1 fitted, Tech 1 battlecruiser, firing the wrong ammo type and running around with a micro-watt drive on all the time with a huge signature radius bloom. And we've never been in armour, even close to being in armour. So far, so good. I will show you that I have no augmentations other than a cerebral accelerator. So I have no implants which are helping me on this. This is purely skills based. Right, let's orbit this guy. Spit out the drones. You can go and have a play with him. As I said, battle cruisers die very quickly. Even though they put out a decent amount of damage, they do die extremely easily. Which is nice. So they're usually the first thing I go for, just to remove their DPS from the field, because it doesn't take that long. Then we'll just take the battleships in order. In fact, I'm going to swap over to multi-frequency M and orbit these guys at like 10 kilometers. Because multi-frequency M does do a little bit more damage than the Imperial Navy ultraviolet we've been using. And they don't burn out. So I'm saving some of my Imperial Navy ultraviolet M by switching over to Tech 1 multi-freak. Oh, low shield warning. Oh no. What is this twin armor rep fit going to do? Oh no. And one of them's about to go. There he goes. He's dead. Let's do this one. No. I clicked orbit when I should have right-clicked orbit, because I do have my default set for the ultraviolet distance when I should have remembered. I'm not firing that. So our optimal range is 10, so I'm going to orbit them at 10. See how many penetrates and smashes we get. There's a penetrate. There's just a normal hit. Annoying. Probably because I'm going so fast. Penetrate. So I'm going to turn off my micro-watt drive. There's a hit. Slow myself down, which should increase our tracking. Just a hit. A hit. Penetrate. Alright. Final target in this room. There are, of course, multiple rooms in this mission, and with most level 4s. Just a hit. A hit. Okay, so slowing down doesn't seem to have increased my tracking all that well. We're only getting hits. But at least it's not grazes or glances off, I suppose. There's a penetrate. There we go. Big chunk of damage there. Smashes and wrecks are what you really want. But I'll take hits and penetrates. That's fine. Yeah, I'm just going to head to the acceleration gate. We have taken 0 armor. We are still in shield damage mode. And we just wiped out an entire room which had about 8 or 9 battleships. Let's get through the gate.
Warp drive active.
And see what awaits us in room 2. A ton of everything. Okay, let's have a quick sneaky peeky. Let's just double click kind of down. And try and get these 2 battlecruisers first. Okay, I'm seeing Guardian veterans, but they don't say... they're not elite, I do not believe. No, I should have changed over to ultraviolet. There we go, we'll just do that. Orbit them. So I'm going to keep these guys at range to line myself up. What is my keep it range? 22. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, one down. Okay, one of the battleships is aggressed. 3 of the battleships have aggressed. Okay. I'm going to turn the armor repairer on now. Let's untarget the frigates and target lock the battleships. Ideally, I would get rid of the frigates first because I don't really want them aggressing my drones. And these guys are at a really annoying range. They're a little bit too close to this piece of scenery here, and if I orbit them, I might bounce off it. But I'm not going to orbit them. I'm going to do some manual piloting. I don't want to get too close to these guys and aggress them. And neither do I want to orbit them and crash into the scenery and come to a shuddering halt, because that would be a bad thing. Right, let's put the drones out now. They can go and help. Let's try and keep at range. Keeping battleships at range is probably a bad idea, but we'll see. Yeah, keep it range 15. Keep it range 15. We're going to try it. Graze, really? Graze. Hit. Penetrate, that's better. Glances off, not good. Okay, keep it range 15 is not close enough then. We're not taking too much damage, even though we were keeping it range. Okay, I can see that this backlot are now shooting at my drones, which is not great. But I will keep an eye on the drones. I'm not going to bring them back until I have to. Because it looks like it's just battleships that are shooting at the drones. This one core port admiral is shooting at one of my drones. Something else just shot it then. What was it? Yeah, Battlecruiser shooting at it. But as we see, the drone is fine. He's on 93% shield, so he can just stay out in the fight. Not a huge issue. Because if they're aggressing the drones, they're not aggressing me. Okay, these destroyers look like they're moving pretty fast, so they're going to come in and try and kill the drones. That would not be good. Let's keep this next battleship at range 10k. Get the drones over there. Get myself up there. Okay, that... Right, everything needs to come back now. Drones, you need to come back. And we are going to stop shooting that battleship. That drone is moving very, very slowly. That tells me he's webbed. That's not fun times. Come on, little drone, get back. Oh, he's taking a little tick of armor damage. That's annoying. Why is this drone so slow? Okay, he's gonna die. Okay, just about got him. It tells me that these Guardian veterans may have webs. Okay. Let's go for Battlecruisers next. No, not the acceleration gate, you turd. Don't shoot at that. That would be bad times. Right, now that everything's aggressed me, the drones can go back out. So that one drone that was under fire took forever to come back to the drone bay. The other 4 just came back almost immediately. There we go. One battlecruiser dead. Let's get the next one. Okay, looks like there's 3 battlecruisers here. I missed one. So that tells me that the drone that was under fire was being webified, and that was probably the frigates that were webbing it. And that's never good times. Because elite frigates in level 4 missions can and will warp jam you, and that's just sad times for everyone. Okay, let's go back to ultraviolet. I'm going to keep this guy at range just to directly approach just for a second. We're doing fine with 1 armour rep. Our Hardener is changed to 30 and 30. Okay, there we go. Now we're in range. Now we're really hitting them. Let's get rid of the cruisers. As I said, the cruisers are the main problem because they have medium guns and they will apply really rather well. But then I have medium guns and I apply it really rather well. So let's just wipe out all the cruisers and then we'll get back to the battleships. Here we go, there's another cruiser dead, and another one. Bam, bam, boom, dead. Right, let's change back to multi-freak. Just going to approach this guy. Keep him at range, something like... Let's just do 10. Let's just line ourselves up. We're still fine damage-wise. I mean, the tank's kind of breaking because it's still going down. It's just going down very slowly. We do have a second rep. I'm just going to do 1 pulse of that and turn it off. Just to give ourselves a little tiny bit of extra boost. Just while we get rid of these 2 battleships. Yeah, these guys are firing rails and I've lined myself up, so we're actually getting hit fairly hard. Maybe I'll orbit this guy at 10 instead of keep it at range. Turn on the second rep. Turn off the micro warp drive. Orbit this guy at 10. Drones go for him. I go for him. Right. Nothing over here seems to be interested in shooting me or my drones, so that's good. Okay, we can turn off the second rep now. Don't need it. The tank is back under control. Happy days. Let's preserve some capacitor. Yeah, and he's missing us now that we're orbiting instead of keeping at range. And drones can come back. Let's switch over to standard. Let's do standard, which is our longest range ammo we have in our cargo hold, and we'll just try and pick off the frigates from here. That seems to not be a problem. Keep this one at range, blap him. Easy peasy. Okay, and let's refit to multi-freak. Turn the micro warp drive back on. Capacitor's a little bit happier. Okay, now the battleships have woken up. I wonder when they might. Let's go for this core Commodore. Drones go out. They go for him. Okay, these guys all seem to be blaster fit. That's good for us. Let's orbit this guy at 10. We might smash into some scenery. If we do, we'll take avoiding action. So hopefully these guys will miss us more than they hit us. Seems to be the case. And we're taking off nice big chunks of his health, which is great. There he goes. Oops, clicked orbit instead of right clicking again. We need to orbit it at 10. In fact, why don't we orbit it at 7.5? Just getting really close. They're probably going to bounce off this asteroid unless the hitbox is actually inside the model, which sometimes it is. Yep, just missed it. No, we didn't. Just glanced off it. That'll be fine. Battleship's half dead. So far, so good. Just orbit the next one, 7.5. Boom, dead. Right, that's 2 rooms of this mission done now. never in any trouble at all. One of our drones was in trouble. We just about got him back. If that had been a Tech 1 drone, it would have died. And there's just no two ways about it. It would have been gone. But we managed to rescue the little dude. Even though he had an entire fleet of battleships shooting at him, and he was webified by a frigate. I'm assuming. I didn't see any effects, but he was moving very, very slowly. There we go. Bring the guys back. Go back over to our Imperial Navy multi-freak. Mouse over it. On average, are 10% damaged. They will all be 10% damaged. Because the damage on laser crystals is not chance-based.
Warp drive
Like it is with mining crystals. You get exactly 4,000 shots from Imperial Navy and other faction crystals. Tech 2, you get exactly 1,000 shots. So if these guys are 10% damage, we fired around 100 shots. 400 shots. Okay. Uh-oh. We're right up close with this first group. Let's just double click straight up. Turn the micro warp drive on. We need to get rid of the destroyers and battlecruisers. I'm going to go for the destroyers first, just so then I can get out my medium drones. I'm going to put the medium drones out right now anyway. They can start working on the battlecruisers. That was rather unpleasant. Dropped off right in the middle of a big group of everything. Four destroyers, 4 battlecruisers and a battleship. That's a nasty welcoming committee. And as you saw, they instantly aggressed because they were proximity aggressed, I think. Oops, shot at the wrong target. We're taking quite a lot of damage because I'm lining myself up with keep at range because I really want to damage these guys nice and quick. I'm going to switch over to orbit. I'm a little too far away and these guys have got railguns, that's why they're hitting us. It would actually be better for us if they were blaster fit. I'm just going to have to directly approach this guy, turn the other rep on. We need to get into range. It's as simple as that. There we go. Now we can orbit. I'm going to turn the micro warp drive off. A to preserve cap. B so our signature radius goes down, so hopefully we'll take a little bit less damage. And the other reason for doing that is because we were in range already. That was fairly nasty. Right, let's go over to multi-frequency M. Keep this guy at range 7.5. Turn the second rep off, turn the micro warp drive on. Because we are using multi-frequency now, and that has a much higher cap use than the other stuff we were using. Let's go for these battlecruisers next. A, because they're right ahead of me, and B, because battlecruisers are always something you want to get rid of. Okay, let's orbit it at 7.5 now. Okay, the battlecruisers have proximity aggressed. That's fine. I was going to kill them next anyway. I just need to get my speed up and establish my orbit. There we go. Okay, the 2 battleships at the bottom have now also aggressed. That's not great. I'm just going to double click away from them. Turn on the second rep. Man, this rear admiral's taking a while. That's a low armor warning. That's not great. I need to get rid of these battlecruisers. They're putting the hurt on. They're not playing nice. Come on, drones, kill that battleship. Come on, drones, you can do it. I have faith in you. Hey, they got him. Now they can help me with these two battlecruisers. Tank is not very happy at all. That's because the two battleships down here are kicking my ass. But once we get rid of these battlecruisers, the tank should start going upwards, hopefully. Oh, crap. Now the other lot have aggressed. We're going to have to get the drones back. Pull some. We're going to have to leave and come back. It's a line out. Yeah, when everything is aggressed. Right, let's go.
Warp drive active.
Well, that got out of hand a little bit.
The capacitor is empty.
This named battleship was putting the hurt on us. He is named. He's not a commander. He's not elite, but he is worth 890,000. And generally, the higher the bounty, the more dangerous they are. So that was not great. It didn't help that because I was orbiting things, I was accidentally proximity triggering things. Let's just dock up, get repaired, and then we'll go back out. Alright, we're back. We have been fully repaired. This little cruiser seems to be all on his own, so let's just go and kill him. Turn everything on, including one of the armor reps, because we're going to need it for sure. Let's see if we can actually complete this mission. I think the problem was we were proximity aggressing everything. God damn, these battleships just don't like me at all. It's just instantly aggressed. Right, let's do some fancy flying. Okay, that's one down. Let's try and cut across these guys. Get the drones out. Well, I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to pick these groups off without aggressing everything, but the entire room is just instantly aggressed. But we can at least try and get rid of the cruisers, because they're going to be the ones that actually hit us. Oh, vice admirals, yeah, ugh. Right, we're going to go for this core Commodore next, and we're going to orbit at 10 if we can. It would help if I actually opened fire with my own guns. You know, it has been known to help in some rare cases. Right, orbit that guy. Change over to multi-frequency, open fire. Both reps on, moving quite slow. Are they all missing? Is the tank bad? I'm just going to give a squirt of micro-warp just to increase our speed. As long as we can kill one or two ships before each time we have to run away, if indeed we do have to run away again, then we can do the mission. The issue you get in level 4 is that some of the more expensive battleships do actually need like 400 or 500 DPS to break their tanks. So in some rare cases, if you don't have enough damage, you cannot actually do the mission. Right, let's go for this guy, orbit him at 7.5. We're up nice and close with these guys. Let's not bounce off the scenery, please. That would be fatal. The two reps are kind of holding station. The reactive armor hardener has maxed out. Let's have a look at our resistances. 65, 59. I mean, it's really not great. Ideally for level 4, you want to be like 60, maybe 70. Yeah, we're bouncing off the terrain. That's not great. Let's double click away from that. Turn the micro drive on. Yes, I know we're in low armor. Come on, we've got to kill at least one more ship. Rear Admiral is going to be the next target. I'm just going to double click towards it. Another squirter micro warp. Hey, drones, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get up here and get this guy. and debating running away. Strongly debating running away. I just need to get under this guy's guns. Come on, come on. It's the railgun guy that's hitting us. Everything else is firing blasters and it's missing. Are we under his guns? Is he now missing? Looks like he's missing. Kind of, sort of. Yeah, we're just establishing our orbit. Come on, come on. I think we're okay. Yeah, resistances in the ship, not great. I mean, we could, of course, refit with a kinetic and a thermal hardener, which will give 55 or 60 each. I mean, this is doing 30. This is doing 21. So we'll only actually get 9 or 10 more, but more is more. It's a low armor warning because we're actually going up through the threshold now. Right, let's get the... Yeah. This guy, drones. Let's go. Now, the other two seem to be extremely long range. Cryx, Serpentis, and the Core Admiral. I'm not opening fire on this guy until I've established my orbit, because capacitor issues. Let's turn off the second rep just for now. Right. Orbit this guy 7.5. Turn the micro warp drive off. Reduce my signature radius. He should miss. I mean, we're up really close. He can't track us at this kind of range. Even though he's got blasters. If he was able to track, he'd be hitting us like an absolute truck. Ow, that hurt. Yeah, see, we're trying to establish an orbit, but we're too slow, so let's speed up. That's more like it. Turn the micro warp drive back off. Turn the second rep back on. This guy's 768,750, so he's a little bit dangerous. But I think we'll be okay. Our micromanaging of everything seems to be going alright. We're going to go for the Core Admiral next. Wherever it is down here. Core Admiral drones. Just going to try and get under its guns with one rep in the micro warp drive. I'm not going to directly approach it, I'm just double clicking somewhere near it. The closer we get, the higher our angular velocity is going to be and the more he's going to start missing. That's the theory at least. Come on, come on. Yeah, back into low armor, so we'll just give ourselves a couple of cycles of that. Almost close to range. We're almost in range of where we want to be. Come on. Come on. Get into range. There, that looks good. Orbit 7.5. Okay, he's missing more often than anything now, which is great. Second rep goes on, micro warp drive goes off. Yeah, this guy's 890,000. Oh joy, the missile batteries have woken up. That's not great. Let's get the drones to get rid of these heavy missile batteries. I will shoot the Core Admiral all by myself. Which seems to be pulling range, so it's faster than me when I've got the micro warp drive off. So micro warp drive back on, re-establish the orbit. There we go, that's better. Drones are taking care of the missile towers, which is good. The last thing I need is missiles which always hit, and medium missiles, of course, which will apply really well to us. Capacitor, not happy at all, but we're about to kill one turret and this battleship. Then it's only the big named battleship, so let's turn the micro warp drive off. I'm going to go and try and help the drones. I'm going to switch over to standard, which has a range of 30, so we'll just shoot from here. Help the drones out. Boom. Gone. Okay. Just going to shoot him with standard until we can get into a decent orbit. Why are these two drones? Oh, crap. There's a reinforcement wave spawned right on top of everything, and I didn't notice. Wonder why the drones were so slow. Okay, this is not good. This is very not good. We need to panic. These spider drones are very, very fast. We need to go over to multi-frequency and line them up and shoot them. Okay, these spider drones are trying to kill my drones. Let's put out the light drones as well. Get them to kill all the spider drones, because spider drones have got ridiculously strong webs. So they need to die straight away. If they web me, I'm just gone. We're just done. But it looks like the rest of that lot, I've not really noticed that I'm here. So let's go back over to multi-frequency. Orbit this guy at 7.5. The tank's actually almost completely repaired because this guy's missing us all the time. So we'll just kill him. He's worth 890,000. I'm pretty sure it's just a renamed normal battleship. Let's double click away from this group. I don't want to proximity egress them. I'm just going to trust in my tracking that will still actually hit this guy. Micro-watt drive can go off. 4 frigates from 4 battlecruisers to do after this guy. Getting the webifying spider drones off the field was an absolute priority, and I'm actually amazed we managed to do it without being webbed. Yeah, we're really up close. He can't hit us. We're hitting him just fine. Boom, gone. Right, medium drones come back. I'm just letting everything just chill out to recover a little bit of cap. In fact, I'm even going to turn the armor repairer off. Ideally, we'll get rid of the frigates first. So if we go over to standard, micro drive on, keep this guy at range 25. 25 should hit them just nicely. Let's try and sneak up on them from underneath the station. Turn the rep back on. Open fire. Let's try and snipe these frigates with my own guns. Just so I can put out the medium drones as soon as they're gone. Yeah, these guys are just dropping like flies. Okay, battlecruisers have woken up. I shall put out the medium drones as soon as I've got rid of these 4 frigates. Nice. Let's just keep them at range, I suppose. Go back over to your multi-frequency, your ultraviolet, you idiot. There we are. That's one of the best things about laser weapons, that the crystals swap out instantly. Well, these battlecruisers are dropping like a sack of spuds. Boom, one gone already. Line up the next one. Now they're yellow box, which means that they aren't actually trying to shoot me. They're not shooting at my drones. Just that they're blaster, and I'm fast enough to stay out of their blaster range. So I'm just picking them off. So we only had to warp out once in this mission. Very nearly twice. I did nearly poop myself when this reinforcement wave came. And once before, when we were trying to get under the guns of the railgun battleships, I did consider warping out again, but I braved it out. And this is the final ship in the mission. Boom, mission complete. Let's go. That was not easy, but we accomplished it with a little bit of micromanagement and good decisions. So let's go.
Warp drive active.
Right, made it back safe and sound. Let's hand in this mission, get our 6,000 loyalty points. Nice. Right, so I thought this ship was going to struggle because fitting battlecruisers for short range and having to micro-warp drive into the middle of enemies to take them out, I thought was going to be a death sentence. I'm not going to lie, the final room is a little bit tricky, but we managed it. We managed it just fine. A little bit of module micromanagement and a lot of good decision making and killing things in the correct order. We managed it, and the only changes we did, we improved the tank a little tiny bit. We used faction ammo and faction drones. Other than that, the rest of the fit is still all Tech 1. I mean, by the time you've unlocked level 4 missions, you'll probably have access to Tech 2 gear, which would of course improve the fit a lot. But then Tech 2 gear needs a lot more power grid and CPU, so maybe you wouldn't be able to fit full Tech 2 gear. So anyway, this took a lot longer than I expected, so I think we'll come back and do the Prophecy Battlecruiser in the next episode. So do come back for that, and do look after yourself until then. I'll see you later.